Good morning. What's up, y'all? I need to make my famous pulled pork for a potluck that's at about 5 o'clock. I was up pretty late, so I'm tired. But I want to get this started and then I can go back to bed for a while. This is my trusty slow cooker. It's dented. The pot inside is cracked. But I've been using it ever since. I like to use slow cooker liners. And even since, I mean, these things are nice. Makes it a lot easier to clean up. I keep this out in the outside kitchen. So I had to go out there and get it and bring it in. But now I'm going to just kind of wipe it down real quick, put the plastic in it, and then I'll get the meat and the peaches put in there. So this recipe has always been really popular, but it's super easy. I never meant for this to be so popular, but it just really took off. I liked just having something that I could throw together really fast, make it over a long period of time, and then people be able to eat it for the potluck. I used to just do a pork butt or Boston butt roast. I noticed that it has a lot of fat. Wind up cleaning a lot of fat out of there before I shred it to serve to everybody. So now I usually do a mix of different types of meat, usually add in some pork loin. The loin, cooking so slow for long, will shred just the same and add some nice texture, but then it cuts down on how much fat is in there. You still want some of the fat to get a nice juicy pulled pork. But the biggest thing that's probably the most addictive is this. I know we're cutting down on sugar, so there's probably a lot of sugar here. I did notice that Sweet Baby Ray's is making a sugar-free barbecue sauce, and I would like to test that out. Now what's different, and I've cut up fresh peaches before and put them in there, and it turned out really well. So this time I'm going to try sliced peaches. Now this is sweet. I know it's sweet. Overall, I think it's going to be delicious. I won't be able to eat too much of it because it'll be so sweet. But I think that it'll turn out well. So I'll put the peaches in now with the pork, because normally I would just put water and then the pork, and then afterwards I would usually swap the bag out, getting all of the extra water and any juices out and thrown away. Put the pork in a clean bag along with the Sweet Baby Ray's, and I shred it up and mix it up real good. This time I'm just going to start with the juices that are in here, and then we'll still drain those juices out. So I guess we're draining some of the sugars out, right? Pork tenderloin, I'll put this one in first. Now this is a pork for carnitas. It says, you can read shoulder under there. Usually would be a little more fatty. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fat there, but I'll put this on top. Usually you want your fat on top so that the juices can kind of drip down and keep everything else nice and juicy. And I'm going to add some garlic and herb salt-free seasoning. Now I like my solid surface countertops because it makes it easier to clean up the blood that's spilled here. Make sure you wipe this kind of stuff down. The last thing you want is people, yourself, the rest of the family touching any of this and getting bacteria that'll be making them sick later. So now it's all going, and I'm going to go, well, I'm going to wipe this down real quick, and then I am going to go lay back down and see if I can't get a few more hours of sleep. It's a Saturday. I stayed up late. I don't see any reason to make excuses there. I'm going back to sleep.
Oh.
You having fun?
What is happening?
It's been going for 9 hours. Peaches are on the bottom, and Tanya was noticing that the smell in here is very different from what we're used to when I normally just do a pulled pork. The peaches apparently have had like a great effect on the aroma inside the RV. We're gonna go take Daisy for a quick walk, and then I'll come back and I'll start pulling pork. This looks like a proper campsite out here. Look at this amazing tent that they got set up. Awesome REI tent. Comes with a bouncy castle. Nah, just kidding. The neighbors are actually having a birthday party today. I do actually miss these days. Look at this. They got their Coleman stove. They got the stand for the lantern. Oh, I love it. And it looks like they've got some kind of a griddle right there. Good stuff. Some kind of a griddle. I see what kind of griddle it is. How'd you get back outside? What are you doing out here? I just put you inside. Excuse me. All right, it is time to pull the pork and get ready for the potluck. This is a Fulltime Families potluck. So when I do my pulled pork, what I like to do is I will take this and put it into another pan that's kind of can accept the heat, and then I will start to remove the meat and put it into a new clean bag where I will apply the barbecue sauce. I try to find something that'll help me to keep the meat and everything. Obviously this pan can handle, a big saute pan or whatever you want to call it, can handle the heat. Put a new bag in here, and I will add back in the meat and as well as the barbecue sauce and shred it as I go. And if you're using these kind of bags, make sure you always use like a rubber tipped tong or silicone. I guess it's a silicone, something that can handle heat, that won't tear this bag, to help keep it nice and clean down in there. So now I just move this over there. So I'll kind of add barbecue sauce at multiple layers. I don't have any meat there yet, but now there's some at the bottom. I'll go ahead and start grabbing chunks of the meat, kind of shredding it a little bit as I put it in there. Let's go ahead and move the camera angle so you can actually see better down in there. There we go. So add some more sauce in here. Just kind of at every layer, I just kind of go through then and try to shred it up a little bit more and get it stirred in. Like I said, there's a little bit of sauce I put at the very bottom. That's pretty good. Now I come back for some more chunks. Add those in. You can see where some of that seasoning that I put on, which was that salt-free seasoning. Like I said, in the past what I've done is I've used like the Montreal steak seasoning, which is very filled with salt. Tastes delicious. I love it. I miss it. But I'm trying to find an alternative that isn't quite so high in sodium. Just every time I go through, and I guess I should look. 290 milligrams of sodium. My goodness. It's like every time you turn around, you're like, wait, something I've been doing is just loaded with something I'm not supposed to have. That is tough. This is something that I usually make for big events like this. This is not something, we have done it occasionally when we are just at home and have a bunch of leftovers, but usually somebody says potluck and I say pulled pork, because it's pretty easy. I've been away all day. Ooh, here comes some of the peaches. I haven't had to sit here and babysit this meat all day long. So a lot of that was the carnitas, the pork shoulder, and now this is the pork loin coming over in one big piece. And see how you get these long strands of pork in there. Much more lean, much thicker with protein, probably a little bit drier if you don't put a lot of sauce on it. So once I get it all in here, this is all going to get mixed together. I might need a second tong. Alright, these strands are much longer, a little bit thicker and harder to pull apart.
The pork loin is, I kind of think about it like the difference between like a chicken thigh and a chicken breast. It's a little bit drier, a little bit higher in protein content, but blending the two together will give you a little bit of a better mixture, so you're not taking on quite so much of the animal fat. Of course, as we're getting into healthier foods and research and everything, we're finding that the animal fat is actually considerably better for us than what we've been led to believe over the last couple decades. Yeah, that's coming along nicely now that it's getting all mixed up. Add a little bit more sauce there and bring in some more. So I opened up that package of pork loin and it was like there was two. There's some more peaches coming in. Yeah, this is usually a crowd pleaser. I don't think that I got this recipe from anyone. It was just a matter of me trying it out, probably adding way too much water in the first case, making this up as I go along. Once I learned that all I could do is just add some water so it didn't burn in the slow cooker and then run it for at least 8 hours on low. Whatever you can cook at a lower temperature for longer is usually going to be juicier and better tasting. If you try to go for high, you're going to cook out a lot more of your juiciness. You want to save that juiciness. Trying to get some of these peaches, but they are kind of, they're holding together pretty good. It's a little confusing though, as you look over here, the coloration, it's kind of hard to find the peaches amongst like some of the fat. Got almost all the chunks of meat out now. So I like to save tie wraps from just about whatever I get tie wraps for. What I'll do is with this bag, I'll just discard that. Tie that up. I'll leave it in this pan until it's cool enough to put into the trash bag. I don't like pouring this kind of fatty type stuff down the drain because that's bad for your drains. Whether you're in an RV or a house, pouring a bunch of greasy type stuff down your drain is not good. Much better to throw it in the garbage. This slow cooker liner, normally when I go to the grocery store, those come in 4-packs, but I found a 6-pack on Amazon. This is kind of interesting. I'll be anxious to find out what other people outside of my family think of the idea of putting these peaches in here. I'm sure it would probably be better. I don't know. I don't know if people would notice the difference if I was doing fresh. Hey look, there's people. Careful of the camera when you come in, alright? Alright, let's add some more sauce here. The camera tripod is actually kind of blocking the door, so this might be about coming to an end. Just trying to get it all mixed up so we get the fatty pieces along with those pork loin pieces, giving a good mixture of the two. The cost of this kind of meat is usually pretty reasonable. Kira, watch your step as you come in the RV, please.
Is Zoe in here?
Yes.
Did Pam say she could be?
Yes. Kids are coming back from the pool. Ryan and Allie took them swimming, but they want to get ready for the Fulltime Families potluck. We'll load stuff into the back of the truck and just drive this over to the pavilion by the beach. I was mocking it in an earlier video about this park, about it being a place where you can't clean your fish. I guess it'll make a pretty good place to have a potluck. Hi, Allie. I'm just showing everybody how I make pulled pork.
Awesome.
With peaches.
Really good.
Yeah, that peach smell really changed the aroma of this.
It smells really, really good. Even if no one else shows up tonight, we'll have pulled pork and pasta salad.
Right?
Sound like a plan to me.
Slow cooker is set to keep warm, not low. I think I may actually just set it back to low and let it heat the barbecue sauce back up. No, you know what? I won't do that. I think the last couple times I've done that, it has actually kind of burnt the barbecue sauce to the bottom. I changed my mind. I'll clean my tongs back up so I can take a clean pair of tongs, even though they're going to get messy once I get there. I used most of this barbecue sauce. There's about that much left at the bottom. I pretty much buy a new bottle every time, so I'll just take this down there, we'll leave it out there, and anybody can use it if they want, and if it doesn't come home with me, I'm okay with that, because we live in an RV and we can't just keep everything. Hey, let's go eat some food. I see where other places in the United States are freezing and snow, but here, this is Thousand Trails, Lake Conroe on a late Saturday in March, and it is looking mighty active and fun around here. So if you're wondering where you should be in March, I'd say Texas. Let's go get you a seat at a table.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So Zoe's not coming over, or was Zoe just going home? You don't have a drink, do you? Get my drink back. What?
Juice?
I'm gonna put my cooties on it. My cooties.
Hey, can you go to the lake and get the boys?
Sometimes, I mean, if it's hiking, might be late. We'll get home, we're all muddy, whatever. We do a load.
Looks like somebody earlier was having water balloon fights around here. The Mario movie? When does that come out?
April something.
April something.
This pulled pork is fabulous.
Thank you. What are y'all building?
We're just covering our feet in sand.
Fun. Hi, RV Family.Life.
No, that's what I said.
Oh, right. It's been a warm, sunny, beautiful day out here at Lake Conroe, Thousand Trails. The Fulltime Families potluck. I think it wasn't a big potluck, but it was enough people. Got to make some friends, eat some delicious food. The peach pulled pork went over well. Some people couldn't really taste the peach, but overall everybody said it was delicious, so I guess that's still a hit. Such a lovely day out here. I see where a lot of places are still dealing with a lot of cold, snow, and ice. Sorry, I got distracted by the beautiful white bird right there flying at me. Such a beautiful day here. I think that being in Texas in March and April is probably one of the best times to be here. It may get a little too warm, and it may even still be a little cold. We saw 35 degrees 2 weekends ago, or last weekend, I think it was. It can still happen during that time frame, but I doubt we're gonna see any snow or ice here. That could depend on what part of Texas you're in. If you're up in Amarillo, Abilene, those areas might still be a little bit too cold, but this is down closer to the Houston area. Houston, San Antonio, down into the South Padre Island area. This is a great time to be in this area because everything is very green. We got plenty of moisture out here, a lot of beautiful flowers popping up all over the place. That's the best time to be in Texas in my opinion. After this, we start heading for other parts of the country. Now we're out here, kids have been swimming in the lake. They've even been swimming in the pool today. It's wonderful. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog for today. I hope that you appreciate the pulled pork recipe that I gave you. Super easy, super simple. My secret is out. It is out of the jar to you. I hope that you can use it. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We hope that you have a wonderful week. I do apologize that today's video is not about Wisconsin. I was supposed to have a video ready for our time in Shell Lake, Wisconsin today, but I have a lot of footage to parse through, and with all the work I did this week on fixing the RV, I just haven't had the time to get it ready. So hopefully I can have that ready for next week. I have old footage that I'm trying to get caught up on, and it's gonna take me a little while. So those, I usually have to spend more time to do them. I can't do those on a daily basis. I wouldn't be able to do my day job and be a father and a husband and a guy that cooks dinner. So, all right. Thank you all so much for watching our videos, and I wanna remind you that life happens, even potlucks. Don't let it stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.